Dr. Gilmore. Deputy Gilmore without interruption. Deputy Gilmore without interruption.
I'm shocked at the Taoiseach's response to Deputy Kenny, which really makes him and the government sound like they're kind of helpless bystanders in all of this. There's a famine in this country, a credit famine. Businesses are being starved of credit. And that was described yesterday by the Small Firms Association, who told us that many small businesses have experienced their worst month of trading for 20 years. And they went on to say that unless specific actions are taken in a matter of days, the small business sector will implode and unemployment levels will soar. And the Small Firms Association drew our attention to a €15 billion fund that has been established by the European Investment Bank. Banks in 22 of the 27 member states of the European Union have applied and obtained funding from that fund to help the small business sectors in their countries. But guess what? The fully state-guaranteed banks in this state haven't applied at all. Now, last Thursday, the Taoiseach referred to this in a reply that she gave to Deputy Richard Bruton, in which she said that she was urging the banks to facilitate available funding through the European Investment Bank, and that both her and the Minister for Finance were having further discussions with the banks about it. Now, when the bank guarantee scheme was brought in here, we were told, and it was quite explicit in the scheme and in the legislation, that the Minister for Finance was taking to himself all kinds of powers to direct the Irish banks in the public interest. Now, I'm not seeing any evidence of that happening. Can you explain to me why there's a European Investment Bank fund which would make money available to small businesses, which they so desperately need now, and no Irish bank has yet availed of it or made it available to Irish businesses, yet it's being made available to businesses in other countries? How's that happening? What has been done to direct Irish banks in that direction? And secondly, you refer to the examinations that are underway to establish effectively what is the level of bad debts that are going to have to be written off in Irish banks before there can be recapitalisation. Now, I understand that the PwC report was made available today to the financial regulator. I presume, Taoiseach, that you know the contents of it, and that government knows the contents of it. And I want to know, do you know what's in the PwC report, or does your government know what's in it? And therefore, are you in a position to make decisions soon in relation to recapitalisation of the banks?
Gilmore.
Well, first of all, the Taoiseach doesn't need to remind me at all that the Labour Party voted against the blank cheque that the government decided to give the banking system, which the Minister for Finance, incidentally, described only a couple of weeks ago as the cheapest bailout in the world so far, and he said that the guarantee had successfully attracted a lot of liquidity into the banking system.
Well, where is it?
Well, if it hasn't managed to work its way back out to Irish business, and it looks now like we're heading into the worst of both worlds: a blanket guarantee for the banking system, and it would appear increasing inevitability that there's going to have to be recapitalisation and taxpayers' money put into the banks, which we were told was what the whole guarantee scheme was designed to avoid in the first place. Now, I want to come back to the first question that I asked you, Taoiseach. Can you explain to me why the Irish banks have not availed of the European Investment Bank scheme and fund that's available? And what is your answer to the call by the Small Firms Association that there should be a small business operational fund established of about €600 million, which would make credit available to Irish businesses who are now finding themselves in a situation where they are being starved of credit from the banks, where they are facing into a very uncertain future, and where they themselves have described that it is only a matter of days in the case of many of these businesses as to whether they can continue in business or not. This is not something that we can sit around. We're here now 6 or 7 weeks after the bank guarantee scheme has come in, and all you can offer to the House is to come in here and to say that you're waiting for this report and that you're examining all options and every option, but you can't give direct answers as to why, first of all, the banks are not availing of the European Investment Bank fund, and have you asked them? The Taoiseach told us last Thursday that the Minister for Finance and herself were in discussions with the banks. What discussions have taken with the banks, and what explanation have they given as to why, unlike their counterparts in 22 of the other European member states, that they have not availed of the fund that has been made available by the European Investment Bank?